everyone, welcome to David Inspiration Talk. Remember, this is where you tackle life issues and the difficulties, some of the difficulties that you encounter in life. At least I try to encourage someone out there, and some of the things I try to let let them understand some of the causes that they encounter in life. At least, and with me and you interacting, we are in a position of understanding what arrive matters and what is disturbing you at some point. So today I'm tackling a topic on generation curses and how you can understand, or how do you know that you have generation curses, and what are generation curses and how to note them, so with these, first of all I need first of all to ask ourselves, what are the generation curses? What can I do to identify that I have generation curses? Generation curses are traits or beliefs or behaviors, certain things, or certain events that are recurring. These are there are some things that are happening in your family. They are recurring from one generation to the other. That's what we call generation curses. They developed, or they originated from a certain points, but they keep on happening in your family. And how can you identify if you have generation curses within yourself or within your family? There is something we call family tree. And even in the Bible specifically, they have talked of this in Exodus 34 verse 7 and Exodus 20 verse 5. You'll be able to learn more about generation curses, because even the Bible states that God will pass on the sins of their forefathers from one generation even to the fourth generation. And what are these? And how can you identify, or how can you know that in your family maybe maybe have, because maybe you have generation curses? Because sometimes it's very difficult at least to understand this, because some of the things happen before you compose yourself and know what about life. Some of the things that happen within yourself is hard to understand. First of all, I have told you need first of all to look in your family, within your family tree. What is the family tree? Family tree is, you try to look from the father, from now where you are. You are maybe your fourth grandfather or your fourth father, from where you are right at this position. If you look from the fourth grandfather and you see there is something that have been happening now and again and again and again, like for instance, some families, they have this kind of, there are some people who never get married, and it's not something out of blues, but this is something that is norm, that you get there in your grandmother was not married, then you get your father, maybe your mother was not married, then from there you get his siblings are not getting married. Then you're supposed to know that there must be a problem, because normally this is not supposed to happen in a normal life. Another thing that you can also look and try to know whether there is generation curses within yourself is sicknesses. There are some people who have recurring sicknesses, like some people, even when the time I was growing up, the family that I could find, there were wounds that were never healed. You fight from the first there, you from your family history, you find there were wounds that were never healed. You get from your grandfather, from you, and it is something recurring within your family. Poverty, and not realizing with yourself is another form of generation curses, because normally God never created us to be poor. God created each and every person so that at least you can enjoy the world, you can have everything that He provided for. But there are some curses that try to hold us up. Even if you try, you yourself, you're trying as much as you can, but becomes very hard for you, it's become very tough for you, you try to work. There are some people who work from morning, from they wake up at 5, they will sleep at 11 p.m. They are trying their way out, but it's very difficult for them to get what they need. It's very tough for them at least to achieve. And it's not that they are doing something, they are doing something extra, or they are not doing what other people are doing. You know, they are doing the normal things people are doing, but for them, a coin to hold in their pockets become very tough for them. You're supposed to observe this, and when you observe this, maybe from your family tree, you find the very thing that was happening to your grandfather, the very thing that happened to your father, the very things that's happening to you, the very things happening to your cousins and your brothers, I mean your relatives and so forth. So these are kind of generation curses we are talking about. And it's good, the high time, because there are other families where you get someone is not even using a lot of force. Maybe when he invests on a certain business, within no time that person prospers, that person is blessed, that person becomes so rich without any effort. But there are some others who become like, even you've tried so many businesses, you try to move from town to town, trying to fix yourself, you're trying even to move from country to country, trying to fix things out, but they are not working. Because there's something that's holding you. You cannot understand, but there is something always about you from achieving. I'm not saying that these are cause for every poverty situation and all every poverty ways that you are encountering. Of course, there are so many issues that can hinder you to this, but these might be one of the causes of your poverty. And the other thing is the other things. Maybe I think, let me first of all, I need to use my notebook so that at least we don't leave some points out, so that at least I can tackle this in a very deeply and in a wise way. So I'll be using my notebook here so that at least I can be able to educate and I can be able to reach as many people as possible. And I hope at least we are going to assist someone out there. So when we are tackling this, how can we identify that we have generation curses? First of all is emotion and instability, fear. There's sometimes that you feel within yourself that each and every time I'm in endless fear. Like I feel like anytime that I need to do something, I'm always in fear. Like I'm not able to face life as is the way it's supposed to be handled. Those are the signs, some of the signs that you can identify that within yourself, along yourself, you have generation curses. What else will help you understand that I have generation curses? There is something hereditary and family sickness that I've talked about. There are some hereditary sicknesses that are recurring. Each and every time you find that the kind of the sickness that your grandfather had, or like even you from your family, you hear that along the family history there is this kind of sicknesses that they used to be there from your grandfathers, from your fathers. That thing also is affecting even your relatives. You know, those are some of the things that are associated with generation curses and sicknesses. Mostly these things have been affecting people, but some people don't understand what's going on. Some people don't know like what's wrong with them. And it's important when at least when we discuss these things out and try to solve them, at least you know what What's the way forward? Another thing is chronic wounds, like I have talked about. I think I've tackled this before. There are some families that you find certain people, all upon every generation there must be one or two person with unhealed wounds, who wounds that even if you visit in the hospital, you try to visit, they will tell you they don't have the cure for that. And even if they treat for that one, and then they, it reach a point whereby that thing it starts to disappear, then within no time then it appear again. And these things happen. Maybe you find there is your cousin, there was your grandmother who had that. These are some of the things we are trying to look. Also, another signs that can show you that there are generational curses within your family tree are barrenness, and some of barrenness and some of the female problems. You see, there are families whereby you find from your grandfather, your grandmother, then it comes to your mother, then come to some of the cousins. I'm looking along the family tree. You find that there are people who, and it's not that they don't try, they try to get children, they try as much as they can. They have visited even the gynecologists, they have visited so many places trying to sire children, but it's become a problem to them. And also this is associated with female problems. You get some of them are getting fibroids that unhealable fibroids are another problem. Those female problems, I know you understand them, and it's not something that it's just a norm. There are those that are normal, that happen to people's life, and within no time you visit a hospital and then disappear. Maybe there's others are from infections, and then within no time you're treated and they disappear. For this one, I'm talking about something that never disappears. You try to treat them, they appear again. You try to do what, and it's something consistent. You try to treat them, but they are not disappearing, and they cannot be treated. Whether you try what, they cannot be treated. I know some of us here cannot understand what I'm talking about, but there are some who really are affected in these situations, and they understand, and maybe some of them have been asking themselves, what's happening within my life that I'm not in a position to cure this, and I'm not in a position to treat this. However much I've tried to visit so many hospitals, however much I've tried to do so many research, I'm not able to cap this. So those are the size of what I'm talking about, generational causes. The other thing is family breakdown and divorce. There are so many families right now whereby there are commotions. Each and every time you are not agreeing with your relatives, family fights. And you find yourself most of the time you are being affected by maybe something. The issues arises from nowhere, like you fight from no given reasons. These are some of the things that we are supposed to be looking, and these are the things that really affect our families. Also, divorce. Some divorce are not normal. And when I talk about divorce that are passed through generational curses, these are divorce that your grandfather your grandmother was divorced, or your grandfather divorced. Then when you get to the father, he divorced the wife. Or when you get to the mother, to your grandmother, she was divorced. When you get to the father, she was divorced. I'm talking with that. Yeah, when you look down from your family tree, there are that thread that have been happening, and it's like a kind of something that is repeating itself. These are some of the things that you also can make you understand that we have generation curses. Also, as I have explained there before, is lack, poverty, and inability to produce. You know, there are those people who are being held. You are being held by situations. However much you try to earn, you cannot be able to sustain a coin in your pocket. However much you try to save, you get a lot of money, but within no time you don't understand, or you don't understand where the money have how you've spent your money too. And when you try to look what you've done, at least you know there that time that at least you can use your money. And when you try to look, you see maybe I've done something constructive, maybe I've bought a plot, I've bought a car, I've bought this and that. At least you've seen the use of your coins. But there are some other people, they try as much as they can. Every time they get money, within no time, that money, they get that money with a lot of sweat, but sustaining that money has become a problem. Poverty. There's some family lineages that poverty became a norm. You know, I came to tell you today that that's not normal, and you need to realize and start with yourself and know what you're supposed to do, at least to add this, because this is not normal. So another thing is debtors. You become a slave of debts. Each and every time you're debted. Each and every time you keep on having debts and double debts. So these are some of the signs that I'm not saying that is some of them, these are caused because some of them can be caused by your normal behavior, but some of them are developed or initiated from your family, from your family tree. And very quickly, I'm going to state on how you can be able to add this, or how can you be in a position of breaking generation curses. First of all, you need to fully surrender. You fully surrender within yourself, because this, as I align this point, as I state these points, before you break the generation curses, you need first of all to deal with all these steps. If you bypass one of them, then you cannot be able to break this. So first of all, you fully surrender. This whereby you look yourself, you give yourself directly to God, and fully surrender yourself. Yeah, you give yourself. Let your life and everything you are doing be surrendered, to be fully surrendered to God. Then also confess the sins of your parents. You know, they are that person or they are that parent who made you go through this. Maybe sometimes you're not aware of this. So repent of the sins and tell God to forgive them, so that at least you can be able, for you yourself, you're able to be set free, because some of them are even not living for now. And then the other thing is, forgive the things of your parents. You know, when you understand, some people understand that I'm going through this pain because of my parents, you keep that grudge. You keep that grudge within yourself, and you keep on all the time lamenting, and saying, why am I going through this? Because of something I never did, and because of even someone I don't know. No, forgive them and tell God that I need to release this. I need you to forgive me, so that at least I can be able to move on. Another thing is, break and godly ties with the sins, with the sinning parents. Break them. Those ties, the other day I talked about those ties. You cannot be able to move further when you have those ties within yourself, and these are not things that you cannot be able. You can be in a position to escape, because they are within your blood. They are within you with yourself. Unless you know how to deal with them, you cannot accept this. So try to break those ties within. If you follow my channel, you'll understand how you can break these ties. Also, break the curse lines of the demons. You cannot be able to solve generation curses if you've not broken the curse lines of the demon. And how can you do this? You can do this by exposing yourself, allowing the Holy Spirit to break this, and trying to exercise within yourself on how you can do this. And with that, you'll be able to do that. Then from there, the last but not least is verbally command the demons to leave you in after you've gone all through this. I've explained from first to around 5 points, and as I told you, you cannot afford to bypass any of them if you want to break the generational curses. Because I understand there are so many people who've been going through pain in life, and sometimes they don't understand what's wrong. For you to go or to break all these curses, you have to follow all these steps I've stated. There are even more that you can do, and more so ask God that is show you the lead. Because sometimes we explain these kind of things because some of us have been going through this, and when it's very good when you understand the way, you try to help someone else so that at least they can be able to add this.